Okay. Then next one, displacement reaction. We completed chemical combination, decomposition. Next one, chemical displacement or displacement reaction. Third, displacement reaction. So, in chemical combination, two or more substances are combined and form only one new substance. Whereas, in case of decomposition reaction, in case of decomposition reaction, only one substance disassociated to two or more substances. Here, in case of chemical decomposition, see here, AB plus C gives rise to AC plus B. AB is the substance, is in that B is replaced by C and form AC plus B. AC plus B means what will happen? In any chemical reaction, one element is replaced by the other. In a chemical reaction, the reaction in which one element takes place, another elements in the compound. The chemical reaction in which one atom or the element in a compound replace or displace by another element or atom is called displacement reaction. In any chemical reaction, one element of the atom is displaced. One element of the atom displaced by another one. Generally, when does the replacement happen? How the replacement happen? When the stronger one came, it replaces the weaker. So here also, the chemically less reactive element can easily replaces by chemically more reactive element of the atom. So, for example, zinc plus hydrochloric acid. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid gives rise to zinc chloride plus hydrogen. In this reaction, so hydrogen gas in the aqueous solution is solid. It is also aqueous solution available. Here, HCl, hydrochloric acid, you can write as hydrogen chloride. After the reaction, we observe that hydrogen chloride formed as a replaced by the zinc. This hydrogen is replaced by zinc. So it forms zinc chloride and hydrogen. One element or the atom displaced by another element or the atom. Such kind of reactions are called displacement reactions. Okay. So here zinc is replaced the hydrogen from hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid because zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. Similarly, copper sulfate is blue color, actually blue in color when this aqueous solution. When we take copper sulfate and dissolve in some amount of water, it forms copper sulfate aqueous solution. In that copper sulfate aqueous solution, if we drop small piece of iron, like iron, after some time we observe that it forms iron sulfate plus copper. Iron sulfate plus copper. So here blue color copper sulfate solution. Blue color copper sulfate solution changes into pale blue or green. Pale blue or green and forms copper. A brownish, brown layer is formed on the iron vein. So in a test tube or a beaker, take copper sulfate solution. Here we have to drop a small piece of iron after some time. So a green iron sulfate is formed. A brownish layer is formed on the iron layer. So here observe that in copper sulfate, this copper is displaced by iron. This copper is displaced by iron and forms iron sulfate and copper. Right? So in this kind of reactions are called displacement reactions. So if you take other examples, we have many examples for that. We have many examples for understanding displacement reaction. Right. So we take one more example: sodium plus water. From sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. So this is also example for displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. So we have many examples for understanding displacement reaction. In a displacement reaction, one element or the atom displaces by other element or the atom. Generally, low reactive element can easily displaced by high reactive element. Especially in metals, we can observe the displacement reaction. So reaction between metal and acid is also example for displacement reaction. Okay, AB plus C form AC plus zinc HCl A plus C. After formula of AC plus B form. Similarly, C is like that. A chemical reaction takes place. Such reactions are called displacement reactions. So, in generally, high reactive metal can easily displace as the low reactive metal. So, there is some reaction activities are there to understand the so potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, iron, in between hydrogen, copper, silver, gold. Right. So these are the reactivity, decreasing order. So potassium more reactive than sodium is calcium, magnesium, aluminum, iron, copper, zinc, iron. So here see uploaded. So CuSO4, Cu and iron, copper and iron. Iron is more reactive than copper. So here copper easily displaces. Right? More reactive element and more reactive metal can easily displace as the low reactive element. Let us take for example iron sulfate plus zinc. So it forms zinc sulfate plus iron. Because iron is less reactive than zinc. But iron copper cannot displace the zinc. For example, zinc sulfate plus copper, no reaction takes place. Because zinc is more reactive than the copper. This is the decreasing order of elements. Their reactivity in decreasing order. Okay, this is about displacement reaction. Then coming to the next one, double displacement reaction. In the displacement reaction, a single element is displaced by single other element only. One element displaces another element from the compound. So, what about double displacement? In case of double displacement reaction, two elements from the compound displaces by the or exchanged by the other one. So let us discuss the reaction in which two compounds react by exchanging ions. Those reactions in which two compounds react by exchange ions. Exchange of ions. By exchange ions is called double displacement to form exchange by exchange ions to form two new compounds is called double displacement reaction. See here double displacement of AB AB is one compound, CD is the other compound. These two are combined together and react together. They form new substances AC and B. AC and B. That means here one element is displaced. Here also one element is displaced. So two are displaced. That's why it is called double displacement. Double displacement. In single displacement reaction, only one element is replaced by other one. In case of double displacement reaction, two elements are displaced by other two elements. The two elements. Such kind of reactions are called. Double displacement reactions. Double displacement reaction. For example, barium chloride plus sodium sulfate. Barium chloride plus sodium sulfate. So combined together, they form barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. Two areas. Similarly, lead nitrate plus potassium iodide combined together, they form lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. So this is barium chloride. Aqueous solution. Barium chloride. This is sodium sulfate. After the reaction forms barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So as we discussed during one of the chemical characteristic feature of chemical reaction, precipitate may form. Here barium sulfate formed as a precipitate. Formed as a precipitate. In case of here lead nitrate, potassium iodide, and here form lead iodide as a precipitate. Here potassium nitrate. Here in place of chlorine we observe sulfate. Here in place of sulfate we observe chlorine. Double displacement. So chlorine, sulfate both are displaced. So here nitrate, iodine both are displaced. So such kind of reactions are called double displacement reaction. So here yellow precipitate is formed, here white precipitate is formed. In this precipitate is obtained during double displacement reaction. Precipitation is formed during double displacement reaction. So we have many examples for this also. Generally, precipitation is formed during double displacement reactions. So these are double displacement reactions. So we completed chemical combination, chemical decomposition, displacement and double displacement. Hope you understand. Please watch the previous videos also. You will understand very well, very easily.